What's the best type of English to learn in 2025? Is it American English? British English? Australian? Maybe even Globish? If you're learning English, you've probably asked this question. And it's a good one. The world is changing fast, and the way we communicate is changing with it. So today, we're going to dive deep into this topic. We'll explore the different types of English, what the future looks like, and help you figure out what's truly the best choice for you. And trust me, the answer might surprise you. Stick around, because this could completely change how you approach your English learning journey. First, let's get the big one out of the way. American versus British English. This is the classic debate, right? For decades, learners have been told to pick a side. Do you want to say color or color? Apartment or flat? Soccer or football? Historically, the choice often depended on your goals. If you wanted to study in the UK or work with British companies, British English was the obvious path. If Hollywood movies and Silicon Valley tech giants were your inspiration, then American English was the way to go. And for a long time, this made sense. These two were the dominant cultural and economic forces spreading the English language. Let's break them down a bit. British English, often associated with received pronunciation or RP, is seen as more traditional, maybe even a bit more formal. Think of the BBC, the royal family, or classic literature. The vocabulary can be quite distinct. You take a lift instead of an elevator, you queue up in a queue, not a line, and you eat biscuits, not cookies. The grammar has its quirks too, like using have got more often than just have on the other side of the pond. American English is what you hear in most international movies, pop music, and on the internet. It's often perceived as more modern and relaxed. The pronunciation, particularly the rhotic R where you pronounce the R at the end of words like car or water, is a key difference. Vocabulary-wise, you have sneakers instead of trainers, vacation instead of holiday, and you put your groceries in the trunk, not the boot. American spelling is also famously streamlined. Dropping the U in words like color and honor is a classic example. For many learners, the sheer volume of American media makes it the default choice. You're exposed to it constantly, from Netflix shows to YouTube videos like this one. It's everywhere. However, British English still holds a lot of prestige and is the standard in many parts of the world, especially in Europe and former British colonies. So, the old advice was, pick one and be consistent. It helps avoid confusion and makes you sound more natural. But here's the thing. Is that advice still relevant in 2025? Let's talk about the rise of world Englishes. The idea that English belongs only to the UK and the US is incredibly outdated. Today, there are more non-native English speakers than native speakers. By a lot. English is a global language, a lingua franca used by people from completely different backgrounds to communicate. This has led to the development of many different varieties of English around the world. We have Indian English, Singaporean English, Nigerian English, Filipino English. The list goes on and on. These aren't wrong versions of English. They are legitimate, rule-governed varieties that have adapted to local cultures and languages. For example, in Singaporean English or Singlish, you might hear unique expressions like "can la," which is a way of saying yes, of course. In Indian English, words like prepone, the opposite of postpone, have become common. These varieties are a testament to the beautiful adaptability of language. They are living, breathing forms of communication used by millions of people every single day for business, education, and personal connection. So, if you're learning English in 2025, you are far more likely to speak with a non-native speaker than a native one. You might have a German colleague, a Brazilian business partner, and a Korean friend. All of you will be using English to bridge your language gaps. In this context, does it really matter if you use the word pavement or sidewalk? Probably not. What matters is being understood. This brings us to a really important concept for the modern English learner: comprehensibility. The new goal isn't to sound perfectly British or perfectly American. The goal is to be internationally intelligible. This means speaking clearly and being able to understand a wide range of accents and vocabulary. Think about it. If you only ever listen to one type of accent, you're going to struggle the first time you have a conversation with someone from Australia or South Africa or India. Your listening skills will be limited. Similarly, if you use very specific regional slang, you might confuse the person you're talking to. The future of English communication is about being flexible and adaptable. So, what does this mean for you, the learner? Instead of picking a side in the American vs. British battle, I propose a new approach for 2025. I call it Global English or International English. This isn't a separate dialect with its own rules. It's a mindset. It's about building a core of clear, widely understood vocabulary and grammar, and then layering it with an awareness and understanding of different variations. Here's how you can do it. First, focus on a clear, neutral accent. This doesn't mean losing your own accent. Your accent is part of your identity, but you should focus on clear pronunciation of individual sounds, especially the ones that can cause confusion. For example, the difference between ship and sheep or the th sound. These are crucial for being understood by everyone, regardless of their background. Second, build a robust vocabulary of internationally common words. When you learn a new word, ask yourself, is this used everywhere or is it specific to one region? For example, movie is understood globally, while flick is more colloquial. To schedule a meeting is universal, but a more specific idiom might not be. A good dictionary will often tell you if a word is primarily US or UK English. Prioritize the words that travel well. Third, and this is the most fun part, expose yourself to as many different types of English as you can. Don't just watch Hollywood movies. Watch a British TV series. Listen to an Australian podcast. Follow Indian news channels in English. Watch interviews with leaders and experts from all over the world. The more accents and dialects you hear, the better your brain will become at tuning in and understanding different speakers. This is the single best way to improve your real-world listening skills. You'll start to notice patterns, pick up new words, and become a much more confident and competent global communicator. Now, let's address a practical concern. What about exams like IELTS or TOEFL? These tests do have standards. TOEFL is primarily based on American English, while IELTS accepts both British and American English as long as you are consistent. So, if you have a specific, short-term goal like an exam or moving to a particular country, it absolutely makes sense to focus on that country's specific type of English. If you're moving to London, you should definitely learn that a flat is an apartment and the tube is the subway. That's just practical and will help you integrate more easily. But for the vast majority of learners whose goal is to use English for international communication, for travel, for online business, for making friends around the world, focusing too narrowly on one single type is limiting. It's like preparing for a marathon by only ever running on a treadmill. You'll be fit, but you'll be unprepared for the different terrains of the real world. So, let's circle back to our original question. What is the best type of English to learn in 2025? The answer is not American English. It's not British English. The best type of English to learn is a flexible, adaptable, and international English. It's an English that focuses on clear communication over perfect imitation. It is an English that celebrates diversity and prepares you to connect with people from all corners of the globe. Think of yourself as a world traveler. You don't just learn the customs of one country. You learn the general principles of being a respectful and effective traveler everywhere you go. It's the same with language. Your foundation should be the universally understood core of English. From there, you can learn to appreciate and navigate the regional variations as you encounter them. This approach is not only more effective, it's also more liberating. You don't have to worry so much about making a mistake by using an American word in a British sentence. In most real-world conversations, no one will care. What they will care about is whether they understand your idea. The pressure to be a perfect native speaker is gone. The new goal is to be a successful global communicator. And that's a goal that every single one of you can achieve. So, start today. Diversify your listening. Pay attention to what makes your speech clear. Build a vocabulary that can travel the world with you. That is the secret to mastering English in 2025 and beyond. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this gave you a new perspective on your English learning journey. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content just like this. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What kind of English are you learning and why? Let's start a conversation. Thanks again, and see you in the next video.